Hi, I'm Rachel Porter, Director of the AAMI Artificial Intelligence Committee here at AAMI, and I am here with one of our co-chairs, Pat Baird, who is the Senior Regulatory Specialist with Philips. Thank you for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to meet with me to discuss many incoming events coming towards the AAMI Artificial Intelligence Committee. Thank you. I would like to start with the development of Consensus Report 515, which is cybersecurity considerations unique to machine learning enabled devices. This project started in 2023, December to be exact, late 2023, with the kickoff of a brainstorm workshop, followed by several task group meetings, and finally the Amy AI committee review and feedback. Now that we are at the publication stages for this project, how do you think this report or taxonomy, if you will impact the healthcare or health technology medical device industry?
Mhm. Thank you for this. One thing that I noticed, particularly around AI, but truly for any other emerging technology, is things happen much faster than what we can do for writing a standard, or a consensus report. Consensus reports do help with the timing,
Hmm. Hmm.
but things can be moving so rapidly. So one thing that we focused on, and why we said, "Hey, let's do this as a consensus report to start with." Um, just sort of a big catalog of what are some of the threats and vulnerabilities that are specific to AI,
Hmm.
and really want to take and wrap that up soon. What we are planning on, well, I should say, as we were developing this consensus report, lots of other suggestions came in. Say, hey, what about generative AI? Right? What about the other types of AI that are out there? What about using AI as a cybersecurity defense tool? Which I was intrigued
Okay.
by. I hadn't heard
Okay.
that and did a little literature search. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Even if your product doesn't have AI,
Hmm.
you can use AI to detect, hey, wait a minute, there's a change in a pattern. This user usually logs in and goes to this part of our website. Why are they going over there? Maybe it's okay, maybe it's not, but at least it highlights it for a human to go investigate that.
Yes.
And instead of stopping the current CR to take and add in all of those other things, we said, ooh, let's get this published out the door as quick as possible so people can start using it and basically plan on doing a version two it has more content in it, considers more things, and let's go ahead and make that a TIR so it's a little more formal.
Thanks, and I look forward to receiving that new work item proposal. Pat Bear is our new work item proposal machine here at Amy. So I definitely look forward to receiving the proposal to review the need, the scope, and further details as it relates to the many, many cybersecurity threats and vulnerabilities. I do believe that this document will be a good machine learning practice, if you will, good practice guide for the health technology field. So noting that this will be turned into a technical report, will there be any additional topics that you plan on adding in that will not be in the consensus report?
I had alluded to it a little earlier, of using AI as a defensive tool. So even if your product doesn't have AI, are there cybersecurity uses for AI? So that's something new, really unexplored. We don't hint about it at all in the consensus report. That's just a new area to take and explore. And
Okay.
I'm also sure that 5 years from now we would have learned more things,
Yes.
and we'll have an update to that. But we want to get something useful to people quickly.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so that's why it's all these stages.
Yes. I look forward to the initiation process of this conversion. And with that, I do hear that there are several things on the horizon for the Amy Artificial Intelligence Committee. With that, can you elaborate on what will be the kick up as far as projects within the committee?
Mhm. First of all, I want to mention I get people sending me ideas all the time. And unfortunately, what they don't realize is there's already some other standards organization around the world,
Mhm.
whether ISO, IEC, IEEE, CTA, someone else, that's actually working on that. And those committees are filled with people that care.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
we're all seeing the same problems and all starting our own projects to fill those gaps. Unfortunately, that means that I know of at least three different human factors and AI for medical devices projects that are being developed.
Yes.
Several other on, oh, what do we need to consider in post market? need to be much more aggressive in our post-market monitoring when it comes to AI. And so lots of these teams, it's a good idea, but their world is so narrow, they don't realize other people are already working on that.
Yes.
And so that's been a challenge. I don't want to try to be the fourth reinvention of
Yes.
the wheel when it comes to that. The AAMI staff, the AAMI members, we have other things to do with our time.
Yes.
So yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pat. I look forward to the incoming work within the committee. I look forward to reviewing the new work
Mhm.
item proposals that are coming in. And again, thank you for taking out the time to meet with me. Do you have any further thoughts you would like to?
I have one other one
Yes.
to take and throw out there, and I wanted to make sure that y'all know that hey, this is brewing. A group of us had gotten together after a conference a couple years ago, and we wanted to do something, and we wrote a white paper about bias management for AI systems. Concerned about we get data from only one certain patient population. Well, that might or might not apply to other patient populations. So came up with this approach that leveraged 14971, the risk management process
Mhm.
that our industry knows, where identify the potential risk, evaluate how bad is it if that risk actually happens, put some controls in place, see if those controls actually worked, monitor to make sure the controls keep working, and monitor to make sure there's that overall process for risk management, that might be a good one for bias management.
Mhm.
Okay, what are potential sources of bias? What's the impact of the bias? Does it really matter that all of your patient data is pulled from a Thursday instead of a Tuesday? Does that actually mean anything or not? Um, we like that so much, wanted to take and turn it into a standard, but then got feedback from folks of no, let's not limit that just to artificial intelligence and healthcare and bias for that, because really health equity is a bigger problem that extends beyond just AI. So let's just make this a slightly more generic approach. It's great that it leverages 14971, and it can be applied in so many different places. So that's something that I'm also really, really looking forward to. Um, Being able to apply what we thought of from one domain to a much larger domain, and helping more patients.
That's very
That's cool.
interesting. I really look forward to all of the projects that are being developed under this committee, and sounds like we're going to be pretty busy for the next several years. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So again, Pat,
It's,
thank you
yeah,
for
yeah.
taking time, carving time out of your very busy schedule. I know you travel a lot and you're working on I know you have a stack of proposals that are getting ready to come in, and I'm all for it. Thanks again. And until
Thank
next
you.
time, we meet again to discuss what the statuses are for the work coming in for AI, Amy AI. Thank
Very good.
you.
All right.